Alright guys, so before I start this video, just a little bit of a disclaimer that I might be using some words that you might not want to hear if you're very kind of dysphoric maybe about certain words, so such as, you know, other words for your chest, your downstairs area, stuff like that. So if you are quite worried and quite hesitant about hearing those words and it does kind of affect you in a way, just a heads up now that I might be using those words. I don't think I'll try my best not to use them as much, but it's just a disclaimer, okay guys? But nevertheless, let's get into this video. Hey guys, what is good? It is your boy Caiden, and I'm back here this week with another video for you guys. Yeah, so guys, so this week's video is going to be all about dysphoria and kind of what dysphoria means in terms of the word and its actual definition, in terms of how it kind of affects somebody's identity and more kind of into the trans-related side. So dysphoria via Google means that it is a state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. Had trouble saying dissatisfaction, that word. So yeah, so basically gender dysphoria is what they're saying is a state, it's a feeling of unease due to dissatisfaction. With your life. Now, way I interpret it is I kind of briefly mentioned it in my video beforehand, so if you haven't seen that video, go and click maybe up here, if I can get it up there, to go and see my past video and then watch this video. Probably watch my past video first and then this one. So gender dysphoria is all about, basically for me, how I interpret it is that it's somebody who feels unease, is probably the best word, with a particular aspect of their body. They feel like they don't identify and feel a disconnection from that part of their body. That's, for me, that's the best way of describing dysphoria, and probably the easiest way of describing it. So now dysphoria comes into play a lot of the time in the trans community, a lot of the time with identity, and how it comes into play with all those things is that if you identify, for example, if you're born female and you identify as female, then, you know, certain aspects of your body you identify with via being female. You know how, you know, you can, how it's kind of like how we tell people whether they're male or female. You have your chest, you have your lower region, you know, you have a certain curvature or certain weight placement in certain other areas compared to men. So, you know, that is how you identify yourself, and you look in the mirror and you see everything correctly. You know, there's no dysphoria there. Now, identity, dysphoria during your identity, let's take another situation. So, let's take another situation and let's have somebody like me who was born female but identifies with male. Now, if you're born female but you identify as male, when you look into a mirror, it's obviously if you've not had surgeries or anything like that, you're identifying as male, you're looking into a mirror. Now, in your head you should be seeing a male body, flat chest, you know, more weight, well, flat chest, downstairs area being a male downstairs area, and so on, the physique of a male. Now, when you're born female but you identify as male, when you look in the mirror you don't see that. You know, you'll see a non-flat chest. You know, you'll have breast tissue and breasts on your chest. You won't see that flat chest. Now, this is where dysphoria comes into. Firstly for me, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm very dysphoric about my chest, even not looking in the mirror, generally being out and about. I'm very dysphoric about my chest. And that's because I don't identify with my chest. My chest is completely kind of oblivious to me. It does not match what I should see in the mirror. It's that it makes me uneasy be able to see my chest in the mirror and not see how I feel like it should be. With flat chest, I can see a lump there and it shouldn't be there. So it makes me feel very uneasy and very anxious, especially when I'm out. I could be indoors, I can still be anxious, but if I'm out and about and I put my binder on and I still see, you know, kind of like a lump or whatnot, it will make me very uneasy and quite anxious. Now, dysphoria doesn't just happen with your chest and your bottom part, it can happen with loads of different parts, and it can be in such a vast range of different ways perceived. Now, how it kind of comes into the transgender related stuff is the fact that, kind of how I've already explained, you identify as you identify as one gender, but you look like, or you have the features of another gender. Now, dysphoria can be a very touchy thing for people who are trans, because if someone comes along and tells you that they're dysphoric about a certain part of their body, whether it be their chest, whether it be their downstairs, or whether it be anywhere, okay, the worst thing that somebody could do is tell that person that, yeah, actually, you can see your chest. Even though you're binding, you can still see your chest. You know, and especially out in public. If you're out in public and somebody told me that, my mate told me that, and I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, I've not got a jacket. I'd be like, right, get me to the closest place to go find and buy a jumper, and I'm putting the jumper on, and I'll get a jumper 3-4 times my size, just so it's not noticeable. You know, you have to understand that if you have a friend that's trans, or somebody that is trans in your family or anything like that, and they come to you out of pure confidence and say, look, I'm very dysphoric about this part, where it's uneasy, certain words are very uneasy for me, can you please not maybe say those words around me, or, you know, maybe point stuff out. Please take on what they're saying, because if somebody already feels anxious and really worried about a part of their body, and you're going to pick up on it even more when there's no need to pick up on it, then it kind of puts them in a really bad place mentally, and it's just going to make them worse. Now, if you're out as a friend, like for an example, a couple weeks ago, we was out and I was talking to my really close friend about obviously me binding and me being dysphoric about my chest and stuff, and my binder that I've had, the long one I've had from GC2B, I've had it for a while now, and it's getting a little bit loose, and you know, it's not binding as it was binding originally when I got it, which is, you know, expectable. Now, my friend told me and was actually just reassured me and said, yeah, do you know what, it is a little bit loose. You know, you can say a lot, but she also reassured me that, you know, no, I wouldn't think anything. If I just saw you in the street, I wouldn't think anything less. I'd just think it, you know, it would still look flat to me. It's only because I've pointed it out, and she reassured me and said that it's only because you pointed it out that I'm now telling you this. And that's fine. Like, yeah, obviously that's fine to me. It might not be fine to somebody else, but you have to check with them. Now, she knows that that's fine, and because we're so close, I trust her opinions, and I was kind of asking, without asking, for her opinion whether I should get a new GCTB binder, because if it looks obvious to the outside eye, it's obviously it's always going to look worse as the person with dysphoria. You always anything you're dysphoric about, you always feel like it looks worse than what it is. Like, I know that I'll go out sometimes and I feel like I can see, like, people can see my chest and see that it's not flat, and then my friend will turn around and be like, what are you talking about? It's flat, you're fine. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, yeah, you're fine. And that kind of puts me a little bit at ease a little bit more. No, the dysphoria is not gone. It's still there, and I don't think the dysphoria will go until I've actually had my top surgery, which is why I'm trying to get my top surgery and trying to get on T and trying to get all this done. But unfortunately, it does take some time. Now, there has been a little bit of talk on the YouTube industry between YouTubers, whether you can be trans without dysphoria. Now, personally, my personal view is I believe you can still be trans without dysphoria, because you may have a quite small chest anyway, so you're not as dysphoric because other people can't see it, but you may be dysphoric in yourself when you see it in a mirror, but you're not dysphoric hugely because nobody can see it, so you know it kind of just scrapes past your head. People are just not dysphoric at all with any part of their body. Again, you know, only you can know, and obviously like the psychiatrists and stuff like that can know if you're trans and, you know, make that decision. But I am going to say, if you're trans and you've got no dysphoria whatsoever, just think about the other aspects that make you trans. You know, what makes you trans, because I don't believe that you have to have dysphoria, personally, to be trans. It could be a bunch of things. It could just be that the dysphoria hasn't kicked in yet. You know, I can't tell somebody that they're not trans, you know, just as much as nobody can tell me. When I was trying to figure out, nobody could answer the question to me whether I was trans or not. I had to figure that one out for myself. Just like if you're watching this and you're kind of thinking, right, well, I don't have dysphoria, I don't really know what it means, I'm trying to figure out whether I am trans or not. It's totally up to you, and I can't tell you. I'm really sorry. I'd love to be able to tell you if you weren't or you are, because I know it's a big thing to go through, but I can't physically tell you you're trans. But I might be making another YouTube video on that kind of topic, guys. If you do want to see another YouTube video on that topic, leave me a comment below or go DM me on my Instagram or stuff like that. Anyway, guys, that's probably it for this week. So until next time, peace.